Cool. So, first of all, welcome to the Auckland Sitecore user group 2019. So, this is the last user group meetup happening for this year. And like every year, so we plan the Christmas user group, as we call it, towards the end of the year, just to ensure that we are able to recap what happened in symposium. So, in the same way, in this, like today as well, the first session which Gopi will be covering would be like this, just a recap of the entire thing happening in symposium. So he will be covering what's new in 9.3, and then also he has a small demo based on this Horizon functionality. And also, like, this symposium has been very special to AKQA. So if you see the Ultimate Experience Award which AKQ received in symposium this year, so I'll leave up to Gopi to speak more on that. Apart of that, we have second session from Nikhil from Datacom, where he will be showing us quickly on how to work with Sitecore Managed Cloud. And then third session we have from Prateek, wherein, like, being a developer working with SXA, we always want to customize stuff, right? So he will just show us cool stuff like how to customize using rendering variants. And also he will just take us through the new Scriven templating language. So we are hearing a lot of buzz since 9.3 has come, right? And last but not least, this time Rev Debug is a company, so they have reached us and they have given us 3 licenses for 120 days. And so in the end, I'll be just showing a 2-minute video of Rev Debug. It's a cool debugging tool. So, and there will be just kind of sort of lucky draw, and then 3 winners goes out with that license. So that's all. Means what session is planned for tonight. So over to Gopi for the first session. So Gopi, you can take the control. I will stop sharing.
Yeah, sure. I can sit and talk.
Yeah.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Saurabh. And this will be my first session in SUG Auckland. I've been here only like five months, close to 5 months. That's all. I got a chance to attend symposium this year. Just concluded in November first week. So I had a lot of things to share, and I'm going to especially share with, from the developer point of view, what are the things are there, what are the changes are coming, how we can prepare. And I guess, is there anyone else who are not developers here? I guess only Richard and Nitin are there. But I guess Nitin, and you can also pick some things, and Richard, Sitecore is there, which is your tool mainly. So first of all, my name is Gopi Krishna. I'm Sitecore developer at AKQA, and I've also been Sitecore MVP from last 2 years. I'm based out of India, but just like 4-5 months back moved to Auckland. First thing to share, AKQA and Foodstuffs, we won Experience Awards winner. We were the Experience Awards winner. Ultimate Experience Award. Experience Awards categories are there for all the commerce. Like globally, three implementations won the awards, but out of 3, we won the best award across the globe. So it was a good achievement for New Zealand as well as Foodstuffs. Quickly, agenda, like major announcements. I'll walk you through the major announcements as well as the Sitecore 9.3 related updates. What are the changes came in 9.3? It just released like last week. And SXA new features. I will leave some of things to Prateek, but I'll just walk you through like what are the things came into the SXA 9.3. As well as I'll just quickly give a small demo on Horizon. First major announcement. How many of you just gone through like anything like symposium announcement or anything? Like what other things came up or what is the buzz? So this was a main announcement from the keynote, Sitecore SaaS. Till now, whatever we are implementing, it's only infrastructure as service or platform as a service. We are taking care of all the Sitecore installations and setting up servers or whatever the things, setting up the services as well. But Sitecore is planning to move towards SaaS platform. And also, a lot of people have the confusion that, oh, is it like current platform they are pushing it? No, it is like they are completely rewriting a new platform they are building on the SaaS, not the current XP or XC, experience platform or experience commerce. So as of now, they have not announced like what are the features are going to be released in the first version of it, but this is planned for summer 2020, which is US summer 2020. So we will see based on that like how many features are there. But initial thought is like they'll be releasing basic content management functionalities, not full-fledged XP platform, because they are building everything from scratch again. And from the developer point of view, why it is good in a sense is because all the clients want to move to SaaS platforms because nobody wants to take care of these infrastructures and all. Just you provide us a service, we pay as we go, and we use the services. That's what all the clients want to move. All the content management systems also want to move that side. So Sitecore is also moving that area. You can see here what are the main features, like faster time to value. Like if I want to build a microsite, it should not be taking a lot of time, like Sitecore setups, all the installations, and all these server scalings and all, right? It's just the service I can just consume it. And the second thing is usability. These are all API-driven developments. You can use any of your tool to consume this content. You can build whatever the .NET Core, JavaScript APIs, or whatever the platform you choose, you can consume this content. Second is extensibility. Sitecore, we all know that Sitecore major aspect is like the extensibility of all the like pipeline and process-based architecture. We can plug in whatever we want. The features, any feature we want to customize, we can extend. That feature. Even I had little worry when they were telling SaaS platform, but they made it clear that we will still be like developer-centric platform in that extensibility. We will still provide the extensibility. It will not be a closed one. It will be open, and we have a lot of endpoints we can extend. And seamless upgrades. We know all this about the pain points of all the partners or all the clients. Like we are on 9, we want to upgrade to 9.2, we want to upgrade to 9.3. How much work it goes behind. But when it moves to SaaS, we are freed from, even from the developer wise, from the partner wise, we are freed from all these things. And mainly for the developers, yeah, this is our slide mainly. Faster development cycles, and as I said, like ASP.NET Core and JavaScript, standardized tooling, and also you can develop using VS Code and the command line interface they are building, and as well as Visual Studio. As I was telling, output the same content to multiple channels, we can do it, website upgrades and all. So all this is like is there, but from developer point of view, what we are going to see the change is the way we are working with the platform right now is going to be completely changed because it would be. I have one more slide. I will show that. Yeah, this is the main one. So new headless developer experience. This was not in the keynote or anywhere. This was only MVP's summit, but I still have the sharing allowed. So that's why I'm showing. This is the main headless developer experience. You see, Sitecore is sitting here, and this is where we are working on. So we will be using command line interface and TDS tools to work with the items in the Sitecore tree, Sitecore items. As well as we can do all the customer extensions as well as the customer website. That is why Horizon Editor is the main thing they released 9.3, which is going to be very critical in the later stages with the SaaS platform and all. Currently, Content Editor and Experience Editor, right? Horizon is the one which is recently introduced from 9.3, which is going to be very important in these SaaS applications. So this is what they are envisioning it right now. So how better we prepare is when I spoke with a couple of people from the Sitecore who owns this all the platform implementations, they said like learn JSS first, like how whole JSS ecosystem works, how code first approaches, all these the approach how they are building it using the like how separated from the JavaScript developers and Sitecore developers, what all the things are there. Just learn the ecosystem how it works. And the second thing is start learning .NET Core, because we are going to build the platform. We are going to build the applications for SaaS on .NET Core, not .NET Framework. So that is one thing. And main update from this as well, like a lot of people had the question that, okay, now you are telling SaaS now, what happens to these existing investments we made in the platform? And we build a lot of clients invested a lot of money and build a lot of systems, right? Even currently we are working on a lot of systems which have invested huge amount of money. What is going to be happen with this? So what they are telling is next 3 to 5 years they have a huge investment on the XP platform as well. But you can understand, like at one point in time, they can't maintain the two systems. They will merge it. They want everyone to move to SaaS. So that is where maybe they are planning to provide a seamless migrations to this platform to this. But we still don't know how it will work. We need to see it because we are working on .NET Framework. We are building the systems in different manner, and SaaS is a whole different aspect altogether. So, but 3 to 5 years is the timeline they are seeing it. If it is further based on the business requirement, they can extend it, or they will ask the clients to migrate it. But from developer point of view, that is the only two takeaways, like JSS and ecosystem we understand and start learning .NET Core. Because
it says SaaS for on-premise there. What do they mean by? So you can install this yourself on your own servers?
There was one question, like maybe this same developer experience going to change from on-prem as well slowly. Yeah, because they can't suddenly jump from this to that. Then it will be like all the new versions might be some of the versions they will be having it to the board. So I guess whole symposium, whatever the main takeaway for me is that one, like what they're building with the SaaS, because we have maybe career-wise, companies and all invested a lot of money. That's a different aspect. But individual level, we have invested time to learn Sitecore. What would be our future based on, okay, if we are still with the Sitecore, what is the future? So that is where they're suggesting to, or where they're seeing to go. But yeah. Next big thing is Sitecore AI, artificial intelligence. They released it, and right now they are planning to release. I have not seen any updates, even though 9.3 released, but I have not seen anything with AI got released or not. So, but otherwise, how many of you work with predicate personalization, like you configure pattern cards, profile cards, all these things, right? Engagement goals and all. So what will happen in the current system? You put all these engagement scores and you put this pattern cards and all. Algorithm decides, like based on the visitor pattern, it tries to understand, okay, maybe this person fits to this profile, okay, then start personalizing the content to that profile. But you have to configure a lot of these things, pattern cards and profile cards and all. But what Sitecore AI does is all this configuration, it will automatically take into consideration and it will start personalizing it on its own. So that's why you have the personalization component and use auto personalization. This is, I guess it's not visible so, but this is the one use auto personalization. You configure few things like engagement values and all. You don't need to configure like profile cards, pattern cards and all. It automatically considers everything and it starts doing the personalization. But I had another slide, but main thing is for this kind of AI, current version of release is you need like a lot of visits, because the smaller websites, they are not implemented yet. There is like millions of visits need to be there on the site per year, per annum. Then only the algorithms, all these algorithms are like more and more data, it can better perform it, right? With less data, it can't. So that's why they had put like some conditions, like these many million visits are minimum, so that. But they said they're still working on lowering that mark. And one more thing is Sitecore and Microsoft are strategy partners, as well as Microsoft is also a client for Sitecore. Because Microsoft, some of the websites are on Sitecore platform. So among them, one is a Microsoft partner network, which we have like Sitecore partner network portal. Similar way, they have Microsoft partner network. That is the first pilot customer for this. They have already used it. They have shown some results on the like how they are able to do it very quickly. Because in the behind the scenes, there were the pilot customers that were using it. So, like SaaS is not ready yet. They're just shown like what is going to happen. But whereas AI, it's already ready. That's why they're releasing in December, and it is with extra license cost, and it works with 9.x later. It can be, and also, but you need to be on the cloud to make it work. You can't be with infrastructure as service. You can't make it work.
So in the press release they said it would be able to be used in 9.0.
Yeah, that's what 9.
Do you have any idea of how hard that is going to be to turn it on? And
no, what I saw the demos is nothing but they have not introduced any of the new configuration to the Sitecore system. All I say is that extra button came into the picture. With some of the values, I am thinking it's extra add-on module it will get installed, and you will have some configuration to that. So that's how it works. That's why they're saying it works from 9 point or later. But this is what they're.
That was my question. So because in the previous slide, is what Sitecore is just marketing that you have a radio button which says auto personalize. But there has to be some flexibility for customers to set some strategy, right? Like on what strategy I want to personalize.
Yeah.
So it cannot be that I'm totally relying on Sitecore to personalize.
I will show 2 more slides. I'll explain that because a lot of people have that same question. See, whatever the doubts we have, a lot of people who attended symposium, everyone had that same doubts, like how it works like that. But otherwise, what they are envisioning right now for AI is this. Sitecore auto personalization, which is they are releasing now with 9.3, but otherwise in future they want to release content AI. Like to find the similarities between the content, you can auto generate the content or find the similarities, something like that. And also journey AI, like how the user is in the journey with the system, like in the portal. So these two AIs are coming in future. But this is what they are marketing as the Sitecore AI umbrella. So auto personalization is the first product for them in this aspect. Yeah, I was telling you about this, right? Like you were asking about this. Even though we configure like auto personalization and all, still clients want to know how it is doing good, or how it is segmenting some particular users, or how it is personalization and all. So that's why they have some landing page as well, which will show you what other things are happening behind. And also the next one is, this is a key point, it will work with our rules as well. Like we configure a lot of things in the rules, right? Rule engine we use, if X condition met, then show some Y content. It works with our rules as well. It takes care of our rules also. It not straight away remove our rules and it can't work. So it will work with tandem to our rules. So that is a good piece, because a lot of people have built all these rules. They don't want to just use AI and get rid of all these rules. So it will work with both. Yeah, that's what, like 12 million visitors or visits and 2-3 months of interaction data minimum, because other than that you will not be able to, the algorithm need to a lot of data to work well, and running on the cloud and separate license here. Yeah, next to from Sitecore AI, there is nothing much for developers to do, because it's all marketers thing, configurations and all. Anyway, we are not doing that before also, that behavioral personalization, pattern cards and profile cards. It's always marketers' job, just that they are freeing up from some of the tedious tasks in that. And Sitecore 9.3, this is our main release, which actually for developers on the ground, literally from now what we can do. Mainly three implementations are going now. Sitecore custom, which is we mostly do it like custom implementations with the pure experience platform. Second one is Sitecore SXA. Obviously we know all Sitecore Experience Accelerator. and JSS is another way of building the websites. So all three can work together in the same single instance. Previously, it was not possible with these two. SXA and JSS have a lot of conflicts, but now everything works seamlessly together. That's what they were like showing. One, you can build brand site, and second, you thought like brand site is gone, and now I want SXA some sites. Now even all these sites are there. One, I want to create mobile or JSS, so I can build all these. So all these will work seamlessly together. Coming back to updates now on the Sitecore 9.3. So how many of you installed 9.2 in your local 9.2? You might have worked with Sitecore install assist, right? So you might have seen that this is a new tool they have built for the installation. Still behind everything is SIF only. Just that this is a nice UI, that's all. But otherwise behind it, it's Sitecore installation framework only. It's all PowerShell based. But otherwise there are two new updates in 9.3. There are small updates that are there, but two main things are you can install Solar from here itself. Previously you had to install it outside and you come back to the system. And also you can install the optional modules, which is Sitecore Experience Accelerator. You can check it and it will automatically get the PowerShell and also SXA. It is easy. It doesn't take much time as well. Like even from 9.2 itself is a big step, but 9.3 like little added extra. Now there is no need for us to like, if you open this tool, you can just click and configure a few things and done. There is no need for us to go and back and forth on this. And it is easy.
That will finish how long?
Maybe 20 minutes.
20 minutes, yeah.
I guess everybody remember that Sitecore instance manager, right? And we just click, done. And our Sitecore EXE, yeah. So that is what it is now. But still behind everything in PowerShell, if you want to change something, we can change it. And also Sitecore installation framework also they have. I have not put in any slides, but they have come up with some of the new features in that, like you can skip databases or you can do a lot of these things there. And also, yeah.
This is only for the XP, right? Not
Yeah.
for commerce.
Not with commerce. It's like everybody is looking at what is in it for me? XC? No, XP only. No.
This is something similar to what they already had in Azure Marketplace.
Yes.
So they had the same optional component earlier. They've made it as a SI.
Yeah. And there was nitty-gritty small updates like once you finish the installation, previously there was no launch Sitecore. Now with launch Sitecore button is there, you can click and you can open the Sitecore directly. Otherwise, we have to find the URL. Where is the URL? Okay, we'll go back and find it. But otherwise, this is I have not listed all the features. I've felt what features are very important or for me very important. Whatever I felt, that's what I listed. But otherwise, there are ton of small features with all the releases. If you go to release note, you can see plenty of releases. But otherwise, Sitecore forms. How many have worked with Sitecore forms? Yeah. Then there is two new controls, file upload and email confirmation, two new elements, and there are a lot of small updates as well on the forms. But otherwise, they introduced one more. We are all familiar with experience editor modes, right? Like we code something. This is for Explorer mode. Explorer modes, I guess everyone aware, right? Like we use Explorer mode for the seeing the view, like if you are in A/B testing, like you want to see the different views and it's all personalization. If you want to log in as a different user and see how it behaves or something like that. That was the Explorer mode. So in the Explorer mode, they introduced one of these condition. Now Xconnect, they made a lot of improvements on session batches and all updates, and a lot of these things are there. And yeah, this was one interesting one, index rebuild. We all usually do the index rebuild and some infrastructure break happens, then it will be done there. And again, it will restart from first. But now what then it is, if you got in the middle also, but again, if you reconnect, it resumes from where it left off. So that was one. And permission enabled search is mainly in the content editor. Like just imagine I am a content author. I am only allowed, like there are multiple sites. There are multiple content. So in permission enabled search, In the content data, how many of you click on the search, content data search, you search for some items, right? Previously, even though you are not allowed or you are not given access to that items, it will still list in the results. Now it will take all the security also into consideration. So permission enabled search. If you are not having permission for that, it will not fetch in the results as well. And yeah, this was a couple of updates. They split out this connection timeout for solar operations, all the solar operations, and mainly the queries. Queries is the most one we use, right? And some of these absolutes they removed from whole system altogether. Losing such provider, even though it was stopped from some time, but still a lot of code is there in the assemblies, in the Sitecore kernels and all. And nvelocity, they removed it completely. I don't know how many of you are aware of nvelocity. I guess SXA guys know already, but otherwise it's a kind of a template engine. I guess Pratik will cover that Scriben templating engine. Scriben is one replacing this nvelocity. But nvelocity is there from a long time in Sitecore, not with SXA, before SXA also. Because it's mainly used for emails and all, like templates you can write, you can replace this first name with last name or some kind of conditions. That's purely templating engine. And duplicated a couple of data types. This was one of the interesting, and I like this feature because I have seen in some of scenarios we had to use it, but we don't have the option to use it. Media library in Azure Blob Storage. Currently, all the media items save in the database, right? But with 9.3, we have the option to configure this Azure Blob Storage so that in media library, instead of file, you will have just ID to the blob storage. So all the media item when you are uploading, it will get saved into Azure Blob Storage. It will reduce the cost as well, and also it will be more performant because our Sitecore database won't grow that much quickly. Because the media items, like currently we are dealing with some system, we have huge number of documents, but we had to think about all these scenarios. But currently with 9.3, Azure Blob Storage will help in that. But previously also some of the Azure Blob Storage integration was done by separate. We had to write a lot of custom code and do this manipulation. Now it is out of the box. So we just need to configure a few things and get the connections swinging. Yeah, new editor now, Horizon, and however you pronounce it, Horizon. Currently we have content editor and experience editor, but Horizon is the main thing in Sitecore for future. Right now they released first version in 9.3. All they have is these three things, mainly create and manage web pages, basic actions, not like full-fledged these things. Just create a page, update the content and all, and publish workflow is also there. And second thing is simulator. I will show you a quick demo, but simulator is more or less like you can see in a mobile view, you can see in a tablet view, you can see in a desktop view, as well as simulator also has good functionality that you can scroll the timeline and see what was the update previously was made. So that is a good feature which we never had in Sitecore. And also the other thing is page level insights we can see. For that particular page, what are the insights are there, like different graphs, like how well is this doing this page, interactions wise and all. Quickly, SXA, how much time I got? 2 minutes? 15? I'll just quickly make. SXA, this was one good thing they made is, previously we had versions 1.7, 1.8 and all. Now there is no SXA 1.10, it would be SXA 9.3. Now onwards they are merging with Sitecore version, so it will be always Sitecore version. It is good for us, otherwise a lot of times we need to see which one is compatible with which version. So that is a good one. Otherwise they made they added three functionalities extra. One is two search components they added, mainly aggregated facet filter and facet summary. Both are related to search. We can aggregate the facets as well as the summary wise we can have that count and all. I don't have demo, maybe in future. This is the one I was telling. Scriben. Scriben is the one replacing nvelocity template. It's nothing but templating engine. how many of you done rendering variants and also any template if you have built in the rendering variants, if you are not able to, like maybe just a small logic we need to add, like maybe if this, add this, show this divs, or if else show these divs. So those are the things we usually write in that n-velocity, but now n-velocity is replacing and Scriben is the one which will replace that platform. And Scriben, why it is an interesting one is, a lot of front-end guys can do this because Visual Studio Code, a lot of extensions are available. Also, a lot of item level extensions are extra written. That's what SXA also specific extensions are there. Previously, in Velocity, there was no much extension. It's just that you read the item and what are the properties are there, you read it. But now a lot of extension, kind of extension method how we write it, like a lot of extensions are there available. So we can write a lot of these things. It looks like a handlebar one, a Scriben, but it's a templating engine. This they are going to currently Scriben will replace across the platform, not only SXA, but SXA is the main candidate who is using very much on the velocity. Third thing is they revamped the complete front-end workflow. If you might have seen before, just I will quickly go through. If you might have seen before, it was mainly that you had a lot of items in styles, a lot of items in scripts. You have a lot of scripts and optimized means and all. They are delegating the work to front-end only now. Only we are going to place the pre-optimized min on one file. That's all. The intention is not to have all these things in Sitecore because it's all from front-end development team. So and also they're changing all these workflow from SXA CLI is similar to JSS way of doing it. Like you do everything through CLI. You can generate the themes and styles and all. Everything you can do it and. So they will be version controlling their front-end assets, right? The similar way. Just we are going to get the only after everything compiled, we're just putting that one item here. We had the optimized mean, we had a lot of these things, asset optimizer and all is there. That completely rewrote that and they are come up with one item now. We had some discussion in office like a long time back on all these use of it, or like this is becoming very big and all, but they replace it now. Another one is this they just released it already. JavaScript API documentation. Previously we had to dig in like what is happening in the code, but now it's like each and every JavaScript API is documented. It is good. Yeah, this one I have not seen it released yet, but this is one thing they were showing like just a educational site. They are building on pure SXA 9.3. Not kind of a product, but we can see which like if I'm learning SXA now, it would be easy for me to understand how the whole components are built or what is the best practice and all. For that, they're building the site. As again, they have mentioned, not a product, just for the educational purpose. I'll just quickly walk through a couple of small updates which for developers required. Habitat. How many of you just installed Habitat site? How many of you used the Habitat in your projects? So that was a big pain point a lot of people are telling because Sitecore, when they review it, they keep seeing Habitat present in the projects. So which was not their intention. They were doing it only for the showing the helix principles. So they are retiring it finally now. There is no Habitat now. Habitat term also they are not going to use it. It's all helix now. Habitat is not there, and also there a lot of people get confused. What is helix? What is Habitat? So Habitat is not going to be there in Sitecore terminology now. It will be only be helix, and we are sharing the terms.
Bruce will be gutted.
So what is the replacement for Habitat is that they have introduced a Sitecore helix example. It's not released in Symposium. It was released like a couple of months before. It was already released. So you can see all the examples like developer focused, how you can build certain things and all, rather than starter kit or something, you're saying it as examples now. You can go through the GitHub. It is interesting code base is there. And I don't know how many of you have noticed it. Partner network is revamped now. It's not spn.sitecore.net. It will be partners.sitecore.com. It's all new portal. Again, you have to register it. Not your old credentials are not going to work. You have to register and you have to map with your company and all. And again, support portal is mainly for developers for us. It's end thing, right? The support portal is also changed now. It's all new portal. I guess they have already. I don't think so. We can generate any tickets now in the old portal. I've not done anyway. So yeah, we can't, right? Yeah, it's all moved to new portal again. Everything is.
So, will all the old tickets be carried forward?
Yes. Yeah. It will be carried forward. That's why I was seeing like old tickets has a different ID, new tickets has a different ID structure, and they have mapped all these old tickets came into the system. They have new IDs, but still there was one more property that old ticket IDs.
Okay.
I was looking at it. Yeah.
Even the way the workflow is completely opposite.
Yeah.
Earlier, all the updates used to go to the bottom. Now all the updates are on the top.
Yeah. Otherwise, always we have to drag down to see just that last update. Yeah. And this was one product feedback program. So you can maybe you can register for that. It's called AHA or something, the tool name. So where you can just log product requirement, or maybe you thought some ideas, or maybe you can vote for the existing product ideas, like we want this feature or something. So that is one whole new feedback program. This was there before. I forgot the tool name we were using. User voice, I guess. User voice. But something else. Yeah, I was, but they restructured it now. It's anyway for MVPs mainly, but I just wanted to quickly show it. How many of you submitted MVP application this year for the next year? Jack, me, anyone else? I don't think so, Ganesh. Why not submit? Okay. I'll just quickly show what are the. Before this, we already had a couple of benefits, but these are extra benefits got it from this year. So we can get all the licenses now. Previously, we were getting XP license. XP license also from this year only, but now we can get all this because it's all Sitecore tools now. All these TDS, Razel, Fedra, and Avatar, it will be always for 1 year, like the duration. Now we have till Jan 31st, till they announce the next MVPs. And this was one update. Maybe it's not so much for Jack Spector and me. Mainly thing is, a lot of MVPs are freelancers, and you can't raise a support ticket until unless you have been mapped to a client or a partner. But they are not mapped to, they are doing freelancing, and they have some issues and they want to raise the tickets. This was MVPs will keep on asking this feature, so they finally give the access now. Now, if you are an MVP, you can raise the tickets. Otherwise, previously you have to be mapped to partner or client. Otherwise, you can't raise the ticket, because as soon as it will ask you a license file, right? Based on that, it will determine like whether it is a 24/7 or it is a normal support or something.
So does it mean that if you're an MVP, then no need to do the license file itself or license number itself?
I'm not sure because I have not checked the process. Because anyway, I raise for the clients, but it is mainly useful for the freelancers.
So you probably use the MVP license, whatever.
Yeah.
Because there is a license required.
Yeah, MVP license we have.
Might be some license.
Yeah.
I think even if you're a certified developer, then you have to be mapped to a company.
Yes.
I think you just upload your license once now.
Yes.
You're already linked to that partner.
Yeah, that was a good feature on the support portal now, because previously we had to map it to each ticket. Each ticket when you are raising, you have to again map the license. But now you map it once, then it is already mapped. But ideally, like if you are a Sitecore certified developer, and if you are mapped to any partner or client, then only you can raise a support ticket. If you are only certified developer, you can't raise the tickets. This was one documentation contribution program there. They said they are starting it. Like anybody can contribute to the documentation. They are going to review it and all. But this was, I was not so sure. Still, I had a doubt like whether it is open for everyone or it is only for MVPs.
How does it work? It's like a wiki type system, or how does it?
I am not sure. They are not told yet. They are like figuring out the things yet.
Well, the MVPs to write all the documentation.
That's a common issue or complaint with Sitecore, right? That the document isn't up to date.
Yeah. So that's what.
You guys update it.
Yeah, you move over to MVPs.
So we are like.
I guess it will contribute to the MVP status as well, if you like.
Okay. We are like.
But if only MVPs can update then.
But just quick updates. I don't know how many of you have seen it. Sitecore Europe is called for papers opened. It is going to happen in March 26th and 27th, 2020 in Budapest, in Europe. So that is already open for papers. If anyone interested, you can submit. There is something is happening in Sitecore Lunch. If you go to Twitter and you find the Twitter handle, a lot of which you can find it. But in a nutshell, what it is mainly that we usually meet in the user groups. Rather than that, we also want to meet with the people online, like every week, like 30 minutes. People will be joining and they just talk all the things they want. So this is there in all the regions. Currently, US started and Europe also there. Last 2 weeks, it is happening in Australia as well. We started in India also last week. So that will be always in Fridays 12:15 afternoon. So that people may be having lunch and just on the call and just discussing things. And Symposium Online, whatever I talk now, there are a lot of these keynote sessions and everything already uploaded in Symposium website. That is what the URL, you can go and have a look, like all the videos are up. Not the breakout session, but on the main sessions, like keynotes and all is already there. It's good, you can go and watch. I have 5 minutes time, I'll just quickly walk you through the Horizon demo. First thing is, it will not come out of the box when you are installing 9.3. It is extra installation you have to do. Horizon is the one. Horizon. You have to install extra because this is a .NET Core application. It's run externally to Sitecore because that's what they want to build. Anything new they are building, it's their own .NET Core everything. So I can just quickly show now. If you click on Horizon, see the URLs. We need to give the authoring post, but you can give whatever the URLs. You close this. This looks similar to an experience editor, just that you are able to edit directly here. Like you can edit here, you can edit here as well. Just it looks pretty much like editing is experience editor, but just that you don't have a rich text box now. You don't have like pop-up and rich text box to edit. If you want to edit some of these rich text, you can just open this side. You have this limited features. So all you have is bold, italic, underline, and if you want to hyperlink, if you highlight some text, you will get that hyperlink. You get this enabled, you open it, you can do all these features, and also publish page. Also workflow is also welcome, no workflow state currently, but workflow also is there. This is a basic piece of continuity. Sorry, I built some demo, but I broke it today morning, so I had to install and that's why I'm showing the basic demo.
Here's a quick question here.
Yeah.
So all those limited functionality, so have you heard like because Horizon is currently work in progress, so it's limited functionality and gradually everything will come?
Yeah, that's what is it. Because it's the first basic version they released. That's why very limited functionality. And also the main goal is to be, this one should be very quick loading because we know the pain point of loading experience editor, like it keeps loading it. So this is what they are looking at. It would be lightweight editor currently.
So probably end of day once this Horizon is completely done, so they might replace experience editor by Horizon or something?
I guess so. I guess so, but nothing official yet. So we can discuss.
Yeah. Just guess.
Yeah, just guess. But otherwise, this is the small edits we can do and all this information. If I go to left, this problem. If you go to left, you can see the tree.
So is this available only for MEP license?
No. Currently it is out. When I had shown you last time, it was only MVP 1.
9.3.
9.3. Currently already 9.3 is released last week. You can just install. But just that I was telling, With the 9.3, it will not come. With 9.3 out of the box installation, it will not come. You have to do extra installation. So you can find in the
But no additional license, right?
no additional license. Yeah, this doesn't require any additional license.
And the license that we have for 9.0 will also work here?
Yes. I don't think so. Those are some of the licenses we are working on the clients. It doesn't have any restriction to the version.
Okay.
Otherwise, in the left side, you can see all pages. Also, main thing here is you will not see the whole tree. It will only show you the pages with presentation details. So it no need to load all the things. That is heavy, right? Rather than dragging and all, it will only show the tree which is having the presentation details. Yeah. Very small functionalities. I'm just not going to create all the pages, but I'm just showing create page on same level. You can create page, create folder, rename, and delete. Kind of very basic level functionalities.
How does it render the page inside? Does it happen through the authoring host? Or is it like...
Currently, there is, it's mainly, I guess, how Experience Editor renders, like basic way only. I have not seen, one thing is, there is nothing to do extra for us, like just Experience Editor mode or something. But I'm still exploring.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's running on a .NET Core, so I wonder how it does it render this component.
The API is calling it. That's the point.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Because it's not currently in Sitecore, it is just external, so it might be consuming the content through APIs.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if you can create your own sort of editor components in here.
Yes, I saw it. You can add the components.
This looks like an authoring website with some editing facility.
Yeah. If you want to add to page, some components will come here. Because this is a basic one, sample rendering only. That's what we get out of the box.
In all those components, we can be adding it, right? Like the way we had rendering, placeholder settings and all, something like that.
Yeah. Also, this one, the second, this is the basic. First one is like basic page editing. Second one is simulator. You see here, or I can just right side corner. If I open the simulator, we'll have the simulator. First feature, like here is, you see the timeline behind, below timeline. If I'm on the 5th currently, then what is the version I have? But if you see here, I don't have any icon or any dot, but I have dot here because that time I modified some of the content on December 1st. So if you go here, again it is showing you all the updates, how many times I updated or someone has updated it. So if I go to this one, if I click on it, it will load you the content on that date.
Is it based on the updates or the versions which are created for that?
I saw it's a version right now.
Is it on the version of the item or version of the data sources?
I have not checked that data sources piece, but this is a basic one is on the.
Yeah, because if they can track all the changes which are going on, right, without versioning, then that'll be really awesome for content authors.
Yes.
That's one thing which they lack, and without the versioning, there's no way to track what changed.
Yeah. Otherwise, you will have all these changes. 1 second, I don't think.
Apparently, created something in 2008. After the date was 2008.
Currently, I have 2 versions.
It's interesting if it's tracking data sources. If you change data,
otherwise, I'm just
changing the view of the page.
So other than this feature, we just have like top level simulators, iPhone, iPad, desktop.
More like MK with each release.
And the last one is here, you have a page insights. 3 features, right? Total we have released. So the page insights, we will have like visit per day, average value per day. These are like page level insights. For that page, how many times I was like playing with it around. You will have some reports, time page by date, bounce by date, or some of these reports on the page level. So that's all 3 features they released it. Simulator and normal page editing as well as the page insights. I don't know whether a lot of people use it right now, maybe they wait for the mature one because you already have a lot of functionalities in the content data side. So, I don't know, but still you can use it like very quickly. Yeah, that's all I have. If anyone has any questions?
Even with this version, is there a separate file of coding required for Horizon?
Right now, I have not seen any, in the documentation, nothing mentioned like that. Yeah, that's what even I was wondering is
It
any
was the
code.
same custom code, whatever everyone has will work on this.
Yes.
Does it work with SXA already, or is it still?
Yeah, SXA it works. So you will be SXA. When I was working on the demo, the page designs, partial designs also come because that also has a presentation details, right? That also can edit from here.
Can I install Sitecore 9.3 in 8 GB machine?
8 GB machine. I guess minimum requirement from the documentation was 16 GB, but I have installed on 12 GB. My machine has 12 GB, but you can give it a try. Are you getting any issues?
No, as of now, no, but I didn't try full installation. Okay,
Yeah,
let me check.
you can give it a try. Give it a shot. But I guess it doesn't matter. Like, you can give it a shot. Yeah, it might be slow. But, yeah, that's all from my side. If anyone else has any questions? Or, yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. 2019. And the most important takeaway for me being a developer, I would think, is start focusing on .NET Core, JavaScript, JSS. Otherwise, our skills might be obsolete as well in coming few years. So yeah, that is the main takeaway. So now moving to next session from Nikhil, and he will be showing us how to work with Sitecore Managed Cloud. Yes, Nikhil, you can start sharing your screen.
Anyone want to get a super quick beer?
Okay, you can. That's good.
Okay.
2-minute break otherwise.
Sure. I got
2-minute break.
I'll have to take a break after this session.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. Yeah, if you're taking a break, it's fine. So yeah. So we'll join after a couple of minutes. Grab your beers, guys. No problem.
No, you can use the Windows, right? Better install. The normal app is a BlueJeans app.
No, I just open in Chrome.
Okay.
As a developer, yeah. Oh, backend, frontend.
It will be more quicker in this level, app level, but that's also fine. Yeah, we can see.
Less developers. Actually,
Just try to present once.
I can India.
We just move around a couple of slides here and there.
Which one?
Little lag, but
Gotcha.
it's fine.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It looks fine. Oh, it's not capital.
Maybe what I'll do is quickly remove this one, otherwise people will come.
You got some juice?
Yeah, we okay.
Or you're very serious?
Yeah, but I saw in this. From the from Mumbai. Yes, from Mumbai.
Have you worked with this, Managed Cloud?
Yeah. We had one client, we went somewhere and we thought, no, not required. Not here, when I was in India.
Yeah.
So guys, over the phone, we have taken a break for 5 minutes. I'm going on mute. We'll just turn back in 5 minutes.
I don't like
Yes, we'll start now. So, Nikhil, you can start sharing your screen and take us with how do we work with Sitecore Managed Cloud.
More easy.
Still there. Why is it sitting here? Okay, so sorry for the lag. Today I'm going to cover up how you can work, like if you're a partner or you're a customer for Sitecore, how you can start with the Sitecore Managed Cloud offering. So they have something called Sitecore Managed Cloud, which is basically like a service on Azure PaaS. So underneath, everything is Azure PaaS. So that's clear from them. So yeah. So going into before going into that, my name is Nikhil. I work with Datacom Systems here in Auckland. Previously, I was there in Mumbai. Was working with VFS Global for their Sitecore engagement. And like 8 months back, I got chance to come over here and work with Datacom. And I'm working with Sitecore almost 4 years now. So the agenda for like this entire presentation or this entire session is basically what is Managed Cloud, why Sitecore Managed Cloud, basically why Sitecore plus Azure PaaS, and then what are the assets they are offering, the standard ones and the premium ones. Then what is the onboarding process for this offering? Then how you can monitor the service which is given by them, and what is the customer success engagement plan. So that I'm going to cover. Okay, so everyone, like when I was talking about Sitecore Managed Cloud in my friends group in Sitecore, they were asking like what is actually Sitecore Managed Cloud. So Sitecore Managed Cloud is a term basically which includes your customer, your partner, and Sitecore and the Microsoft. So Microsoft is center point for everything because Sitecore is actually providing their like premium services on top of Azure. So how Sitecore Managed Cloud is like how you can engage with Sitecore Managed Cloud team or maybe Sitecore. So basically, as a customer, if I'm a customer, I need to decide where I'm going to go the infrastructure, like on-premise, maybe different clouds in AWS, maybe in IBM, or maybe in Azure. So if you are going to go with Azure as a customer, you can think of this offering. So that's why the customer comes in the picture. And then you'll always need a partner for this because whatever the custom development you have done is managed by your partner. So as a customer, you will connect to Sitecore partner and Sitecore for this, not Microsoft directly. So Sitecore will take care of everything like procurement and everything of your Azure instances with the help of Sitecore. So that is actual, basic view of Sitecore Managed Cloud offering from them. If you have any questions, you can take those questions and go ahead.
So will Sitecore manage the initial installation in cloud?
Yeah, but answer is yes. Okay, so why Sitecore Managed Cloud or maybe why Sitecore plus Azure? So I think everyone knows now. These are some features when you use Sitecore plus Azure, which is familiarity with Windows because everything is Microsoft based. Then the speed to market, which is covered by Gopi. Then they say that is only enterprise grade cloud, Azure, but we have AWS, we have IBM. Then infinite scalability because of PaaS offering, you can add whatever web apps or maybe the scaling which you have there. Then always on, which is basically given by Sitecore now. If you are going into this, like this is that there won't be any downtime from infrastructure. Because sometimes what happens is when, especially in Australia East Zone, when Azure is patching something in Azure, there might be a chance that your site will go down for a minute or something and then again come back. So that is going to be taken care by Sitecore now, not Azure. Accident protection.
How will they manage that?
So under the umbrella, I don't know, but the way they work is like whatever app they are going to provide you, they will have a copy of somewhere else in Azure, like some different region.
So does this imply that this issue is happening only in the Australia hosted?
That I heard here, that's why, but I haven't heard anywhere in the world.
A few weeks back it happened once.
Yeah, does it not happen for US hosted sites?
It happens.
Yeah, when you, particularly when you get like if there's like a blob storage or a storage layer upgrade, all your sites restart.
Yeah.
And I don't think they can stop that. Yeah. So that's why they only have 99.95 availability.
Then pay as you go and interoperability, basically given by Azure itself. So that's why they are saying like if you go with Sitecore plus Azure or maybe Sitecore Managed Cloud. It's again depends on you, like both of you, like customer and partner, how you have to manage it. Sitecore.
Pay as you go is a good one because it's not an option on pass. So is that something which Sitecore?
Sitecore, yes.
So are they taking up the portion?
They have like two different ways to bill it. One is depends on your traffic and usage. They are predicting that for a month how much it will be, and they are going to give it like directly a bulk amount of that. Otherwise, pay as you go.
Internally, are they using infrastructure as a service?
Yes.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay, so this.
It's a non-step from.
Yeah. So it's basically. So I think most of you went with that Sitecore template in Azure to install Azure Cloud, like Sitecore Cloud. So it's basically kind of a similar thing. The topology is basically the assets which they are giving. These are some standard assets like XP medium, XP single and small, basically your Dave QN production. But apart from this, they have large, extra large and double XL, I think, nowadays. So they can, so this asset, they decide on that one. Okay, so the thing is,
you need to wait. You don't put it again because little slow there. So
there was a bit lag.
Okay.
So the thing is, this particular thing, as a partner or as a client to Sitecore Managed Cloud, you are not going to decide what kind of topology you are going to use. It is Sitecore who is going to manage it. Like you just need to give them some answers to their parameters, like what traffic, like that SEO and all the stuff. They have like bunch of questions for you, and you just need to answer it. And according to that, they decides topology for production, for Dave and for QA. Maybe Dave is always a single, but QA and production they will decide how to go with. So, and this particular offering works with 8.2 and 9 onwards, everything. Okay, so this is the main step in this engagement, which is onboarding process. So what happens is when your contract is done, like as a partner and as a client, your contract is done with Sitecore Managed Cloud team. They will start provisioning the infrastructure to you. Usually it takes 2 business days, as they say, but it comes in 1.5 days to you. Depends on like what region you are going to use. It's not only like Australia or something. It's if you go and check like, okay, your site is here, but you want somewhere in the world, depends on that thing. They run the ARM templates and then they create the services. Okay, so after that, what they do is they give access to client basically to their customer portal, like Sitecore support portal. So for that, what they want is someone technical person from your client side, so that he can update the ticket, he can create the ticket, he can create the service request for them, and that is how it works for them. Okay. So after this is done, in support portal, as a partner and as a client, you will get a welcome ticket from them where they'll ask some questions to fill the one which I actually not the one, but the one which is like what kind of modules you want to install and all those things, which is there in the welcome ticket. At the same time, you'll get the welcome email from them like, okay, you got this. So because as a partner, you know how support portal works, but as a client, you don't know how it works. So what they do is they send email to client and ask them to log in into that particular system, check the tickets and check and fill all the details what they want. Okay. So this is how it looks like. And what they want from, like, after agreement, what they want is a primary contact from your customer, a technical contact, and for account manager, which is basically they will appoint you. I'll take that in like further slides for that. And this is something like the environment standards documentation and everything is available over there in the documentation, so there's no issues. And the ticket works same like the ticket which works for us, like 3 weeks and everything. Applies the same thing. Okay, so as I told, like they ask you a few questions. So these are some questions which they will ask you, and we just need to fill the answers for them, and then they will start provisioning further things for you. So first thing, they will allocate the region and the topology, and then they will ask you a few things, and then they will add on top of that. So here basically this is something which is main for us, where they ask you for what kind of search engine you are going to use. Is it Azure, is it Solar, or is it something different? Because if it is something different, then they are not going to take care of, they will take care of only Azure search and Solar. And one thing is Azure search is Azure search, but Solar is not like a VM they are going to establish and they create. No, they are using something called
Search tag.
search tags.
Yeah.
Search tag, which is a Solar cloud based.
Solar cloud based. I guess you met them in
Search tags, right?
Search tags.
Search tag.
Or they have combined with Sitecore, yeah.
So that comes in directly in the offering. Like it's your choice, like what you want to use, and the different models what you want to use. They provide for few of the things like EXM 8.2 you need to install differently. Then SXA or something like that, PowerShell extensions they install for you while they are provisioning it.
Just a quick question. So, Suman's various search tags have actually collaborated with Sitecore, or?
Yeah, it's kind of technical partnership for them because whenever you want Solar here, that would be provisioned in their search tag cloud offering. They will have a connection to that.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's basically Sitecore Managed Cloud is first step for their SXA offering, which is going to offer, because the search, Solar search is basically SaaS-based cloud. So slowly they are moving into the one which Gopi actually mentioned.
So when did you, have you created like have you done a Solar managed cloud, Sitecore managed cloud?
Yes, yeah.
How long ago was it?
So the entire provisioning and everything done in 1 week, and then we just pushed from Azure DevOps everything from our premise to this. It took us like 1 week to set up everything.
Like how long ago did you do it? Was it like a year ago or just recently?
No, it's recently.
Oh, recently.
Okay, so this is something which is for
Mute, please.
so this is something which actually business users are like they require this. So billing part of managed cloud. So the thing is, if you are a customer, so they give you a different credential for Sitecore client to log in, and with that credential, if you log in App Center, you will get a tab called Sitecore Managed Cloud. If you click on that, you will get all the consumptions, all the details, stats of your usage, and the billing at the same time. So let's assume it's half month for me, and I need to check what is my consumption for Sitecore Managed Cloud and the billing. I can check from Sitecore itself. There is no need to go into Azure and check, and that's the point which I added. Okay, so this is something which is maybe interested for like it's interesting for everyone because when they give you Sitecore Managed Cloud offering, they will provide a contact for Sitecore Managed Cloud team, which they call as Customer Success Manager. So whatever complaint you have or whatever thing you need, you can drop an email to him and he can take care of it. But at the same time, you need to raise a ticket for the same thing because how it works is they do from service now the one new portal, and at the same time the guy escalates like if you need something like something happened and you go and check, so that guy will take care of it. But the regular task for that guy is basically set up the review meetings for this and give insights of your usage and billing and everything for the month, the activities, and then upcoming projects and events from Sitecore. Um, like your partner, if you are a customer, your partner raised few tickets for Sitecore Managed Cloud, review that why this happened with Sitecore Managed Cloud or not, like what were the solution, is it fault from Sitecore Managed Cloud or it's from partner itself. That's everything is it's kind of a brainstorming session where they decide what happened and what need to be done in future. And they also give the updates like if something is going to happen in Sitecore Managed Cloud, let's assume they are going to provide some patch for this or some new feature for this. So they conclude with, okay, these are the updates which we are going to release for this, and that might be useful for you guys. It depends on you. The patches are right now they are not applying directly for everything. It's like client based, like I want or not. It depends on because they right now they're only like 20% on Azure. They are not 100% on Azure for providing this service. So that's why they are keeping their hand restricted for going into different issues for Azure. So
do they provide like any monitoring? Does Sitecore do any monitoring of the environments, or like if there's an outage?
Yeah. So what happens is when they install. So when I said that they install their own customized ARM templates, so at the same time they install some different monitoring alerts in Azure, which has basically two instances. Like if you know application insights and all those stuff. So what they do is as they have two instances in different regions, they are monitoring your things. So let's assume something goes down. Let's assume your web app went down. You will get a trigger directly on your whatever is like configured email or mail or whatever. But at the same time, they get the alert and they call. Maybe it depends on what kind of support agreement you have. If it's 24/7 and if it's required, they will call you directly or they will trigger in email. So it is not only like Azure trigger, it's they also trigger you that, okay, this has happened to you. So as I said, like it's like 20% on Azure itself. So what they do is when Azure, like we just ignore Azure emails. So something goes wrong, then in that case they will come into picture and they'll tell, okay, you have to take care of this. It's like that. Apart,
Do they take any actions from their end, or it is just communication?
it depends. If it's related to Azure, availability and scalability, they will take care of it. But in case of scalability, they will confirm with you. They will take your like consent in that, and then they will go. But if it's directly infrastructure, then they will go and directly do the changes.
Scalability not come under infrastructure?
Let's assume your memory like your usage went up and you require a memory. In that case, they are not going to go and directly increase it. You just need to confirm it first for them, and then they will do it.
There would be cost associated.
Yeah. If auto scaling was not there.
Sure. Apart from that, they provide like their DevOps team provide like different kind of support to you. So once you log in, because I'm not a client, I don't have access to that particular tab. But when you log in as a client into support portal in service request, which is new facility given over there, client gets different checkboxes or menus to raise different kind of service requests for Sitecore managed cloud. Like let's assume you're done with production and now you need to restore databases to different environments like Dev, QA or something like that. Then they can create a request from there, and all that restored database will be taken care by Sitecore managed cloud. You don't need to go over there and as a partner and restore the database, because there might be a chance that from us something goes down and then they will not take care of it. So it's better to, these kind of requests like scaling, then restoring of databases, migrating something, which is standard. You can raise a ticket from there and they can take care of it. And apart from that, if you get some issues which you think like, okay, it's something related to infrastructure, then you can go into support portal again. You can create a ticket, the one which we create normally, but only in like subject. You just need to mention that it's related to Sitecore managed cloud, maybe like Sitecore managed cloud : and like that. So what happens is when it goes to queue, because of that subject line, it directly goes to the DevOps team of Sitecore managed cloud. So this is how they are offering right now, and they are slowly moving because they want to go into SaaS. So they are. So the idea behind is the customer which are there on in-premise, like they have their own server setups and everything. They are slowly migrating those people on this because they are not used to this. And here Sitecore will give them like confidence. Okay, we are with you to do this. So the like major point or main point of view to grab that customers first, and then maybe the people who are working right now on Azure and just wanted to move into this. This is how they are working.
And suppose there was a scenario like the issue the causing because of Sitecore or from Azure. Suppose if we don't know, in that case, can we ask log files from their enrollment?
It's basically Azure, so you can go into App Insights and can take the logs. Even as a partner, all these instances for you, you will be having access at contributor level to Azure. So you can connect from FileZilla, means any FTP client, and can download all the logs what you want. But at the same time, you can ask them and they can provide you. But everything has to go from ticket.
Okay.
How does it stack up cost-wise?
Sorry?
How does it stack up money-wise, cost-wise?
It actually, when they say pay as go, so it depends on that. But because right now I'm engaged with this particular thing, it is less than what we use as a hours or something different, or maybe VMs.
It's kind of hard to tell because I think they often bundle a license with it. So it's the license and the Azure resources, and it's.
I'll tell you the other part of this. Not only infrastructure cost. If you're going moving on this, what they do is they discount you a license, Sitecore license. So it is balanced basically.
Promoting it, I'm not sure.
But the thing is, just to answer your question, yes, it's little less than what we use right now as a cloud, different clouds, not only Azure, maybe AWS also.
Can we customize our ARM templates in between after our request has been given, or we need to raise again a ticket for a customized ARM template to be installed?
Basically, you'll not have access to ARM template, so it's their job. But if you think you want to change something, you can always raise a ticket and they will do it for you. But again, they will check if it's right or wrong, and then they will. It's basically kind of service. They will first analyze what you want to do. If it's right for them, then they will do it for you. Like in one of my case, I just wanted to like inherit something or maybe inject something which is called homologic, which is something logging system, different logging system into this, and they done for us. But it again depends on their views. They have to confirm first to us, and then they will do it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. Actually, I'm done for the day. Thank you.
Okay.
Do you have just?
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, just a question. So this is this Sitecore Managed Cloud standard? Because there's also a Sitecore Managed Cloud Premium, isn't there?
So premium, so it depends on two things: the license which you are going to buy and the support license which you are going to buy. So if your license is support based, there are two licenses.
Standard
and the
premium features are coming to here because Sitecore support, what we have for some client is 24/7.
Yeah.
But for normal standard is normal way of replying it. So maybe that premium comes into that automatically.
And if you're asking about the assets topology, there are two different kind of categories for that. One is standard categories, the assets which are shown, and there is something called premium topology, which is Excel, double Excel, and all those stuff. They are actually investigating. They are not giving you right now, but they are actually investigating on that how they can provide that particular topology. And at the same time, for that you will require a premium support for that, like 20% premium support. Otherwise,
so do you know if there's a service provider underwriting this, as in is it like a Rackspace or someone that's actually doing the provisioning of the services, or is it just Sitecore?
No, it's entirely Sitecore.
Okay.
So on a holistic view, what they have is they have a global account from Microsoft, and they have their own cloud team who is doing everything for them.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nikhil, for the session. Sitecore Managed Cloud looks promising, right? Worth to try. I'm not sure when we're trying that. Yeah. So next session, Prateek will take us, if we want to do a hell lot of customization in SXA, so probably Prateek can share his experience, what he has been doing with Footsteps, and also some cool stuff regarding script and templating language and all. Yes, Prateek, over to you. And before Prateek starts the session, would you want to grab a drink or something? If we want, I can just take a 5-minute break before Prateek starts. Because it will take 5 minutes to share the screen and all.
5 minutes to share the screen?
Yeah.
Let's see.
If not, Prateek can just start straight away.
Not 5 minutes though. Hello everyone.
Yeah, cool.
Are we good to start or a drink or something? So, hi, I'm Prateek Thakkar. I work for AKQ as a Sitecore tech lead. So today I will be talking about Customizing SXA means I'm sure whoever has been working on working on Sitecore would have heard about SXA. So I would be talking more about customizing SXA rather than what SXA is. So this is the sort of agenda. It's a very high-level introduction of what SXA is and what out-of-the-box SXA renderings are and how we can customize the SXA renderings, and a little deeper on how the SXA site search would work. It's again SXA renderings, but it's sort of different than normal renderings. So we'll talk a bit about that. So what is SXA? So it's just at a very high level. I'm pretty sure most of guys who have known Sitecore would have heard about it. So it is Sitecore Experience Accelerator. So it is meant to speed up the development process. Many usual things that developers do, the authors do, are already provided by Sitecore. So the many basic things that developers had to do, we no longer have to do it right from scratch. So it's provided by Sitecore. So it's an add-on framework to speed up the production of website. It comes with hundreds of out-of-the-box renderings, which we can just straight away use it on the site. Yeah, and with a lot of nice features. All right. So as web developers, we would have realized that most of the sites have a lot of common things like a hero component, a carousel, or a CTA component, a promo item. So these are the things that are used over and over across all the sites. So initially we had to develop all those things for each and every website that we build. So now Sitecore has made our life a bit easy by providing such components out of the box. So there are some assumptions that I would make. It's like people are used to the Sitecore Experience Editor because that itself is a big feature. I can't go in detail about it. So if you know Sitecore Experience Editor, there would be a set of placeholders, and there is add here sort of a button where you can add the component. So if you have the SXA installed on your setup and you click on add here, this is what you would see. So as you see, it has multiple tabs and there are multiple renderings which are already available. So if you were to use any of this, it's just about selecting what you want and you are set in the sense you will be able to do it, carry on with putting the content and things. And at the same time, they also have a feature of drag and drop. So this toolbox, you would notice that it's almost the same thing as you see in the select rendering. So toolbox is a new feature, and the select rendering dialog is something any Sitecore developer would have already worked with. So the only difference is in toolbox, you can drag and drop and put it on a placeholder on a page. Here you have to select it. All right, so whenever, I heard about SXA about 3 years back, and the very basic question which comes to my mind is, okay, so you guys are providing us a set of components. Is it like, are we stuck to it? What do we do if we want something else? So even the project which I'm working on here, there was this questions initially like, what if we want something else? And most of the times we cannot sell what comes out of the box. There would be customization required always. So the answer is no, you're not stuck to the box. You can clone the out-of-the-box rendering. So clone in the sense, SXA comes with a lot of generic components. So you would be able to find a component which matches your requirement to an extent. For example, if you have a component which has an image, a title, and some content, and it's like a clickable component. So that would match closely to a component provided by out of the box, for example, a promo component, because that also has those type of features. So what we as developers need to understand is, okay, the designer gives you a particular component, that this is the component that we need. So we try to map it to whatever is available out of the box, and we say, okay, this is quite close to what we need, but it's not exactly the same. How do we move forward? So for moving forward, we do clone that component. And once you install SXA, it also installs a lot of PowerShell libraries, and a lot of features are automated. So it's all you have to do is zero down on the component that you want to clone and right-click on it and clone rendering. So one might think, just by cloning, clicking on this button, do we get what we want? Answer is no. There are a few more things that the developer will have to do. So things like this. So as soon as you click on clone the rendering, there would be certain options presented to you. Like anybody who has created a rendering before would know that there would be a rendering parameter, template associated to a component, data source or view. So you will get an option to either inherit that or make a copy of it. Even for the view, you can use the original view or make a copy of the view. So though the options are available, but with my experience, I would recommend that always make a copy. Because if you use that, the original one, or inherit it, you are in a way limited. So, do that only if there is hardly any customization. It's just that you're cloning for the sake of minor customization. So what next once you have cloned it? So you have cloned the component and you need to do some markup change or styling change. So how do you do it? So SXA comes with this feature called rendering variants. So basically it is a way we can give the variations to the rendering. It's like it's not limited to just one variation. A particular rendering can be designed to have multiple variations, and all it does is imagine the markup we get from the front-end developers, so we can use that markup and generate that markup from Sitecore. So all that markup that we get from front-end, we have to generate it from Sitecore, so that option is available to the user. So this is the definition. I would let you guys read it. And this is what the rendering variants look in the content tree. One thing which you must note is all these names which you are seeing here, those look similar to, and not similar, it's exactly the same as the rendering variant. So not the rendering variant, the rendering itself. So
rendering? No, the rendering of the component.
Yeah. So there are a few things that you should know about how the rendering variants work. It's like it is available under the SXA side presentations and rendering variants. All the out-of-the-box rendering variants would be available there. About this SXA site and all, those are all the features provided by SXA. Would not go in that direction. It's like you can create a site tenant and things like that. Other thing is the rendering name is equal to the rendering variant. So there is no way from the rendering itself, there is no mapping to the rendering variant. From the rendering, you cannot say, okay, use this particular variant. It is, they have made it by the convention, the naming convention. That's what they use. But it's not just that. From the rendering variant, we can map to another rendering if we want, using this compatible rendering field. So this field is available in the rendering variant. You can say, okay, a particular rendering variant might serve two renderings. So you can, not just two, it can serve more renderings as well. So you can use this compatible renderings field. And there's this rules-based enablement. So we can think about this rules-based enablement like all the if and else conditions that we used to have in the MVC view. So now that also has been moved to Sitecore. We can write, we can select the rules that we want. Means I'll give you some examples in the slides after this. So it's based on the rule the rendering variants would work. So this is an example which I have picked. You would see this is what we wanted to achieve. So if you would see, it looks like a very common breadcrumb. It has a home icon for the home page, shop page, and the catering and gifts. So obviously, this is the content architecture. Means this is shop page and the home page and the catering gifts. So and breadcrumb is an out-of-the-box rendering. So what we did is you clone that particular rendering, you have your own, so that you can customize it further. And this is how the rendering variant will look. So what we are saying is breadcrumb is the name of the rendering variant, which is equal to the rendering name, the default variant, the home item, navigation tile, and display name. So I would talk about the home item a bit later, but just to, the next thing was the navigation title and display name. So it's like, those are the fields in Sitecore. So it maps to the fields in Sitecore. So what we are saying here is, use the navigation title. If that is not there, then there is a fallback for title. Even if title is not there, and then use the display name. So we are defining a fallback hierarchy here. And all the logic required to go through the items and make the tree, it is all built. We don't write any code about it. So this entire breadcrumb can be built without any C# code. So only a couple of lines of code we might do is in the MVC view. So minimal C# code, basically. So now about the home item. So this home item is something we could not have let the same rule work throughout the tree, in the sense home and all the child items as well, because we wanted the home item to show it different. If we wanted to show home item as just home, we could have just eliminated this home item and everything would have worked fine. But we wanted the home item to show as an item. So we need this rule here. So the rule was like where the template is home. So it's a home page template. So this particular field will execute only when this rule is true. And when this rule is true, there is other field for CSS there, where we would say, okay, when this rule is true, apply this CSS. Because at that point of time, we know that it's a home item. So, and then for the navigation tile and the other things, we would have a reverse rule. It's like where the item is not home.
Not home.
Do the rest for where the item is not home. Another example which I have is this particular thing. So this rendering has an image, title, and some content text. Another thing which this rendering has is the entire tile is clickable. So the entire thing has to be achieved using rendering variants. So basically, we get a markup from front end, and our job is to make that work using the rendering variants. So this is the rendering variant which we have to get this working. So I'll just walk you through what exactly is happening here. So people have worked on Experience Editor, I'm assuming, the development part and things. So this edit link and image is an edit frame field. It's a field provided for rendering variant. So what that does is it gives you a button in Experience Editor mode. You click on it and you can provide the link and the image. That we have to do for things like you cannot give the edit functionality within the experience editor itself. Because if you want to make the entire tile as clickable, so that's sort of a limitation. We cannot just provide a link there. If it was just a link on, let's say, the title, we can give it in the experience editor itself. But as the requirement was the entire tile has to be clickable, we have to use edit frame. And here you see anchor, image container, and image. So it's
that piece is the edit frame, edit link and image, the title.
Yes, so that's an edit frame. So basically, the entire thing is within an edit frame. So you would see a blue button out there. I considered putting an image, but it was going too many images, so decided not to. So it's you will see an edit frame image where you click, and it will present you just the two fields, the link and the image. And you just provide the details for those two fields, and that is being taken up, and that link provided would be used here as an anchor. And the image container, it is basically everything is working in the context of the data source. So this image, the content, the heading, description, everything is stored in the data source. So this rendering variant works in the context of the data source. It picks up from the data source. So, and everything will become experience editable. Means the image is when we just provided the image, the heading and description you can type in the WYSIWYG experience editor. And this is how the rendering variants would look. So basically, these are all the field types. So whatever here we are seeing anchor, the content. There is a field type called field section. It's like, sorry, it's a variant section. So section is something which it's a covering div in a sense. Section that can have another div or another element within it. So this anchor is the covering div, and this within it, and same with the content, body, heading, and description. Any questions so far? So this is what Mopi covered in his presentation. So it's like the rendering variants, all the variants provided out of the box might not meet all our requirements. So we will always have to do something custom. So this Scriven template engine would be one helping us do that in future, in the sense with Sitecore 9.3. But in the current version, we have to use velocity templates. So we have not done much minor requirement. For example, we had an image as a background to a div rather than an image item. So that was something that not provided by Sitecore rendering variant. So we had to use the velocity templates to create that.
So even today we had one requirement. We were working on that file extension type. We have one component, download component. In the starting of the component, we need to show the extension type. Like if it is a PDF icon, if it is a Word document, Word icon. But we don't have any provision to, we have different classes for that. So in that situation, we will write just a small velocity template for that. Okay, if this is of this extension, maybe add this PDF, or like rather than coming to C# and write the code and create the component and all, like these kind of small cases, it will be very easy. Like rendering variant, you can't achieve this.
Yeah. And with this rendering variants, first few components might take time, but you will notice that once you have a hang of it, you can churn out new renderings really quick. It's like without any C# code and things, so it's quite quick.
So once we upgrade 9.3, probably this has to, the velocity code has to be replaced with.
Yes.
So you have to write all the code. So whatever you did so.
Yeah. So now that we know this in advance, don't use much of it.
No, but whatever I seen, it's not too much differentiation. We can strictly do it. There might not be an automated one, but the code is pretty similar.
Still, we need some effort to convert those.
And to be very honest, I have not played around with Scriven much.
Yeah.
It's like
There are a lot of extensive documentation provided for all these extensions. You can see the Sitecore documentation. It was good. Like a lot of fields we can manipulate and we can check those values and comparison all these things.
And from this, what I could see is there's even the front-end developers can put in the item level things like this field should map to a particular item. So if you, I know it's quite small, but it says item.videotile.raw. So it's like they're referring directly to the item, which is possible using the Scriven thing.
Yeah, their whole purpose is to mainly to give the provision for front-end developers to write all these extensions, write all these template engines, because they are already aware of like these handlebars and all. Using these things, they will just manipulate this data and populate the handlebars kind of these template engines. So similar way like that.
The way things are going, it looks like more and more work is going away from the backend developer to the front-end.
Scary, but you have to be focused with JavaScript, JSS.
Yeah.
Does it provide support for experience editor? Like, can you put experience editor in Scriven?
Yes, it should.
Yeah.
So everything that with SXA should support experience editor. And with the Scriven thing, I have not worked on it, so I don't know. But the Velocity templates, yes, it supports the experience editor.
Yeah, it supports the.
Yeah, it should. It should. I would be quite surprised if it does not.
Yeah.
Because that's everything is experience editor driven.
So I presume in Velocity and Scriven will live side by side in Sitecore for a while.
From what I'm hearing, it would not.
It's 9.3. It's removed. It's not. It's removed completely and
Is it gone?
Dropping.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
I had shown you. I had in the one slide. I had that absolute functionalities like remove.
Installing 9.3 or say upgrading.
Velocity Lucian, right?
Then if any site developed in 9.2 and then they upgrade to 9.3, they need to reveal full things.
Not full things, only velocity templates.
So it is full things.
Oh, if you have written everything in velocity, then that is it.
That's what knowing this in advance helps us quite a lot. It's now, if at all there is a situation that we have to decide to write a new velocity thing, we might consider an alternate approach rather than writing an velocity thing.
Bigger question is, will anyone upgrade because of this?
Sorry?
Bigger question, will anyone upgrade to 9.3 because they are changing the templating engine completely?
Well, it depends on how many, if this is the only thing which is of concern, it depends on how many velocity templates we have.
Yeah, that's all boiled down to how many we are there and how much effort is required. Because they are planning to change that from quite a while in velocity. They had to, it became old and legacy one. They had to replace it with new one.
I presume you can't install Scriven on an older version of Sitecore and then rewrite your templates for Scriven.
It might not.
No.
That might not be supported.
Even though it's not like upgrading from Sitecore 8 to 9, but it looks like with all these changes, it will be probably with similar effort or even a higher effort. Even though you're moving from, let's say, 9.2 to 9.3,
just a watch.
It's not a minor version upgrade. Basically, if we are using SXA and a lot of customizations, I think everyone will have their own customization.
Exactly.
And yeah, all this will just add complexity to that minor version upgrade.
Well, customization is something that's what I spoke about in the previous slides. We were customizing the renderings, that's a different thing. This is using creating your own rendering variant. So if we have created so many of them, then it's a problem. And honestly, what I feel is if you have to create a lot of custom rendering variant, might as well consider a different approach and create a custom component itself rather than playing around with rendering variant so much. Because the main purpose of this SXA and rendering variant is it should be faster to develop. But if you are spending a lot of time on creating velocity templates, so many velocity templates, might not be worth going that route.
Have they said anything about automatic migration tool to change your velocity to this?
No, there's not.
Looks like they're confident that not many people are using velocity.
But you never know until you see the implementation. How many are there?
So This was another thing which we had discussed before even starting the SXA project, because it seems in the previous version of SXA, this particular thing which I'm going to talk about was not supported. Because when we started, we were told like you would be stuck with the data source template which was created, you cannot add any more fields. But while in the project, we realized that you can add more fields if required. For example, the promo tile which we just spoke about, it had image, heading, and the description, but we wanted, let's say, one more field, H3 or whatever it is. We wanted 2 images. So can you add it? So when in the beginning, we were like, that might not be possible. So we restricted the design quite a lot that, okay, don't customize so much. We might not be able to help with that. But later on, we figured that, yes, there is a way to add it. And it turned out to be quite straightforward. You just add a field in the data source item, which you had made a copy of, refer it in the view like this. So, as I said, this view and the rendering variants, everything works in the context of an item. So the model for this particular view is the item. So any field which is there in the item can be used in the view, can be used in the rendering variant. So in good old days, we used to have specific view models, which would have specific fields. Can't extend that without making change in the model things. But now it is an item can have as many fields as it wants, and we can use those fields directly in the view or in the rendering variants. So, other thing about the SXA rendering is it promises to have a different style variations. For example, the breadcrumb component that we saw, it comes out of the box with styling variation like, do you want that greater than sign between the two items or something else, a hyphen or whatever it is. Every component can have multiple styles. So how do we add our own styling variation? So that's what the other example is, for example, a hero banner, the content might be right aligned, center aligned, or left aligned. And it's the same rendering. We don't want to create 3 different renderings for that variation. So there is a way we can provide that option. This is what you see as control properties. This value is nothing but it comes from a rendering parameter template. So it has this styling options. I've just picked up one of the examples that we have. Certain styling options out of the box like this indent, bottom, top. It's nothing but you want a margin on top of the rendering or below it. And if you see, there are other options that we have added. So all that does is at the top of the markup, it adds another CSS class that we can provide. So this is how we can do that. So again, styles are available just at the same level as the rendering variants, and you use your create your own styles. So here the styles are mapped to the rendering as the allowed rendering field, which you can see. You can have it. We mention the rendering that you want to put the style on, and it will come through. One thing I noticed is if you have nothing on this particular allowed rendering, that style will appear everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
So in our very first component, the customer said that I don't want this style to appear everywhere. So it's like it was a tricky thing. It's you can't.
Reverse.
It's a reverse. So what we did is, if you see, this is a custom field that we had added. Disallowed renderings. It's just a reverse logic, but that's not out of the box. The disallowed thing. We had added it. Coming to SXA search. So there would be no site without a search functionality. It's a content site, it has to have a search functionality. So it is a common set of code that every site has to write, means that's what we have been doing in past. Every site we pick up a search library, we write the code, get this item, get that item. So now with SXA search components, all those are out of the box. So it gives us a set of components or renderings, whatever we say, that can be used for search. Things like the search box, search results, search filters, facets, pagination, the result count, all those things that you can think associated with search are out of the box. So this is actually the list of things which are available. And you can see the sort results or filter by date and
9.3, 2 more got added into this.
Yeah, perfect.
Assets and summary of it.
So I found this quite handy in the sense you don't have to write any custom code to get this working. And when you place more than one rendering from this on a page, all of those work in conjunction, in the sense the renderings internally talk to each other. So for example, a filter component, you filter something, select something on the component, it would reflect in the search results directly. So we don't have to do any explicit wiring. So that all is connected basically. And the way it is connected is there's something called search scope. So you see search scope is managed under the settings. So what the scope does is we are telling the component that what you need to search, what you need to exclude. So we can define, okay, these are the templates that you need to focus on. These are the templates that you have to exclude it from your search. So that entire thing is being managed in the search scope. And it's quite blurry, sorry for that. So this is what the scope looks like. So here what we have done is, you see there is a minus template and an item ID. So what here we are saying is, exclude this particular template from your search. And by default, the scope is, the search would work in the context of the site. So every site would have its own scope and it would work in that context. And there is this boosting rule. So when it comes to search, there's always the thing like, how do we boost the certain results? What do we do? So we had written a simple sort of a rule like, if the search term is in a particular field, boost that by a certain number. For example, if it is in the title field, boost it by 50. So whatever you search for, otherwise what could happen is, if you search for a particular term, and the first result which you get might not have that term, because that